Hurson.
And I'm Scott Clark.
And we are coming to you from the coffee shop. Today is September 8th. It is the afternoon, as Scott just reminded me. I always think it's morning. I did sort of just wake up.
Bro? No, then it's AM. It's AM somewhere.
When we planned on meeting in the afternoon, I breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, "Oh God, I get to sleep in." I have not slept in weeks.
Yeah, same here.
Oh my gosh!
Even when I was on light duty or off of work, I was still getting up at butt crack of dawn, which a few weeks ago was even earlier.
Oh, geez.
So,
well, I just keep agreeing to stuff first thing in the morning and then not thinking about it. And then I'm like, I don't even have one day this week I can sleep in. And then I cry a little bit. But I have a hard time saying no to stuff. People just suggest things and I go, okay. And then I think about it later and I'm like, ugh.
I really don't want to. I really don't want to do that now.
Totally.
It's like I don't even know if I like that stuff.
I know. Well, I get into my schedule on Tuesdays now. I just finished nannying for my friend Rachel, which I did the month of August, and so now that's over, and now I'm back to kind of my normal schedule. Yeah. But I've added all these other things in, so I'm volunteering at Film Forum again.
Okay.
Which I used to do every week and then stopped while I was nannying. So now my Tuesdays, which are like one of my days off, I have boxing in the morning. Then from 2 to 6, I'm at the Film Forum. Then from 6:30 to 9:30, I'm at the women's chorus for rehearsal. And so basically, have a full day of stuff again. And I'm like, not
it's
really
basically
a day
you're
off.
not really having a day. You're just not getting paid to
exactly.
do anything.
I'm
you're
working
busy.
for free.
Right.
Yeah. Which is fine. I actually like it because if I didn't have stuff that day, I would probably just sleep all day. And really, I don't need to sleep all day, Monday and Tuesday. I can do that on Monday.
Yeah. One day a week to sleep all day is good enough.
It is.
I can't do that, though. I feel such a waste.
It feels so good.
I do have the nap mode now. I do like napping, which...
Good. I approve of this change.
I used to fight that tooth and nail. I would be nodding out, and I would get angry at myself because I'm nodding out. But then I have no energy to do anything, so I might as well have napped.
Totally.
So I end up spending 2 hours fighting a nap. I'll drink coffee, and then I'll be so beat up I can't sleep at night. So
might as well just give in to the delightfulness of napping and wake up a little bit later, shake it off, move on.
A 20-minute nap is glorious. I can't believe how much more energy you have after a 20-minute nap. And
sometimes I sleep too long though, and then I wake up hot and angry, and I can't really wake up. So there's a fine line in there. You gotta cut it off.
Yeah, 20 minutes is good.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
Sure.
Like power nap. Just power nap. That's good.
So we should say we're in Tacoma at Tullys on Broadway. It's this really cute, triangle-shaped corner building in the little downtown area. And Rick is not here today. We should say that. He'll be back. Rick. We do miss Rick, but he had stuff to do today. So next week he'll be back on.
I gotta say, this is really nice, cool. I love the architecture. I love old-time architecture.
Totally.
And if people knew of Tacoma in the past, this was a scary, 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 scary place to come.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was bad. And
this specific neighborhood or Tacoma in general?
Just downtown, and Hilltop's not that far away. And that's, again, if anybody knows of the history of Tacoma, it's still,
I do not.
Hilltop is still kind of sketchy, but it's still, we're in more of the art
because these buildings
district.
Look old.
Yeah.
Are they actually old?
Yeah,
they feel very old. East Coast to me.
They're very old.
It's a little Chicago-y, if you will. The doorways are really, they have architectural details.
They don't build buildings like this anymore. No, they're sterile.
Yeah.
Buildings are very sterile now. There's not a whole lot of... Well, the materials are more limited nowadays, so they have to make more with less, I guess.
I guess. And I got here a little bit early, and I was cruising because there are a few antique/collectible shops in this neighborhood. And I'm on a little bit of an art kick right now. Because it started with... I went to Bumbershoot last weekend.
Bumbershoot.
Was it last weekend?
Yeah, you went Monday.
Totally. I went Monday after we had our last podcast.
Which technically
was this
week.
But
as you listen to it, so it would be last week.
It's really loud. So I went on Monday, and they have this, have you guys ever been? They have this little, indoor booth area that's all like artist prints and
Right.
band posters, and it's probably like 40 different little booths just selling art.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have like 3 or 4 things on my walls. Well, I have actually probably 10 or 12, but a lot of them are like paintings that my mom did that I really like. And
Oh, wow.
I bought some art when I was in Ghana, and like just kind of some little interesting things, and I wanted to beef it up. And
Yeah.
so I wandered around the little print section for maybe 2 hours.
Wow.
Because I was like, I would like to buy something for my walls, and I didn't, like, none of it was speaking to me.
Right.
Some of it, like, was cool, but not quite right, because a lot of it was, like, band posters.
Well.
All the comedian stuff they had were people that, like, I think are good, but it was, like, Aziz Ansari, and they had some Jim Gaffigan.
Oh.
But they sold out of all of the Doug Benson, and so actually, like, because it was, like, this, it was like an artist did a specific poster for Doug Benson.
Okay, and then they were selling the prints of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was like this really cool like movie poster spoof
Okay.
that was Seattle based, and it had like the bumper shoot information on it and stuff. And that's what I really wanted, but it sold out so quick that I was like, I'll find something that I like. Okay, that's not that, but I kind of just wanted that poster. So anyway, I ended up just buying this like little print of like this really cute illustration thing that I liked, and I was like, that's fine. I kind of wanted to get something big and exciting.
Right.
So then I took it home and framed it, and I framed this other poster from the film forum Bike-In that I really liked. And so now I was like, well, kind of want some art, and so I went on Etsy.
Okay.
And like, have
Etsy
you ever used Etsy?
Etsy, no.
It's Etsy.com, and it's like eBay for artists.
Okay.
So it's all like either vintage or handmade. Like you can get like oil paintings, you can get prints, and it's the full range. You can get stuff that's like pretty well-known artists for thousands of dollars, and you can get like, I bought a little like 4x6 print of an illustration from this like teenage artist in California.
Okay.
So it's like, it's really kind of cool, and you can like, I don't know, it just has a lot of stuff. You can buy jewelry, you can buy like custom made clothes, and but it's kind of like the handicraft hub for the web.
Cool.
So now I've spent like the last 4 days cruising Etsy, and I kind of can't stop. Like I bought maybe 4 things.
Yeah. Wow.
And I mean, all for like less than $10.
Oh,
like
nice.
just really
each or total? Okay,
well, each.
Oh wow.
And
okay.
like they're really cool, like stuff that I really like. But maybe spend a whole day looking at certain kinds of art, like just like thinking about it. What do I like? So I'm a little bit hooked on it, and I'm trying to stop myself, because now I have like 6 new pieces total, and I'm like, I think I could probably slow down. But I went over, so next door is this collectibles shop.
Right.
And they have really cool stuff. Like, they have like a whole corner that's all Star Wars. And
I think I was looking in the window there. They had a bunch of models and toys, toys when I was like
really
6
good
and 7.
prices.
Yeah.
Like you can get this like medium size R2D2 for like $10. Like I'm sure they're not like, it's out of the box. It's but
it's been played with. Yeah.
It's cool, and for $10 I'd put that on a shelf in my house. Like So I want to go back and cruise, because like they have a lot of cool stuff, and like they had some like vintage posters, and I was looking at those for a minute. But I also, as part of my morning story, which I have a story from this morning, one piece of it is that I finally climbed out the window of my apartment, because I've lived in my apartment for 1 year, actually a year and a month.
So you mean climbing out like up onto the street level, or what?
Yeah, but my window is level with the street.
Okay.
So really I just like wedged the screen of my window out, and then like crawled out onto the alley, because there's this bucket that's been sitting in the alley the whole time I've lived there.
Oh, okay. You can.
And there's a cinder block on top of it. And for the first like 6 months I lived here, I kept like, I would notice it and be like, I wonder who's going to move that cinder block. Like, it's been there for such a long time.
Right.
Then one day I was looking at it more closely, and I realized it's not a cinder block. It's like cinder block sized, but it's a carving of the Last Supper with skull heads on all of the people in it.
Did you take it?
Hell yeah, I took it.
Oh man, that's
And,
awesome.
Well, because when I noticed that was what it was at first, it creeped me out, and then I was like, actually, it's kind of really awesome.
I kind of like it.
And I keep meaning to just, I mean, seriously, all I did was like wedge the screen out, like crawl out a little bit and grab it.
It's been there since you lived there.
Yeah, it's been there like for a year. And I just like never got around to actually grabbing it. And so then I picked it up and like scrubbed it off because it's like full of dirt.
Right.
And hung it on my wall.
Nice. You need to post a picture of that.
I do. I actually just posted it to Facebook before we got here. You guys probably didn't see it yet.
No.
But I'll link to it on our page because it's really cool. I'll take a better picture because now it's like I clustered it with a couple of the other pieces I have up. And so... Anyway, so like cool, like found art plus weird, creepy religious iconography. It's like a really cool, weird thing.
So is this the window that you can't really access from the out? I mean, nobody can really access. So somebody from another, like an adjoining.
I think even the person who lived in my apartment left it there, like because it was right outside the window. Like
that's kind of cool. Man.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And it looks really good, and it's even like decayed, like there's pieces missing
weathered
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool actually.
I dig that kind of stuff. I like that kind
and
of
it's
stuff.
like it's 12 pounds. I weighed it because I had 20-pound screws, and I was like, I wonder if this is big enough because they're kind of small, and so I put it on my scale. It's 12 pounds of concrete, I think. And maybe plaster-covered concrete. Mm-hmm. It's too heavy to be all plaster.
Right.
And it held up too well for a year in the rain.
It may be like some kind of composite.
Yeah, but it's really, anyway, it's cool. And now I have that thing. So I was thinking, like, because that's sculptural, I would maybe go look for something else kind of sculptural to put on the wall.
Cool. That is really cool.
It's way fun.
You know, I grew up with one of my really good friends is a sculptor too, and he's actually he's a weird kind of friend because he's got I don't want to say mental, he's got anxiety. He's got a lot of anxiety. And so he has social.
That is the most common mental illness is anxiety.
Yeah, he's got social.
Anxiety.
He's got social.
Yeah, like social phobias.
Yeah. So he doesn't like going out, and then I'll call and leave a message, and because he has such a weird sleep schedule because of the medication he's on. He'll think, oh, it's too late to call me, and then he'll let it go by a few days, and then he'll just basically get up in his headspace thinking I'm mad at him, and or back and forth, because I thought I made him mad. That's why he wasn't calling me anymore.
Oh, I see.
So he just called me yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is he still making art?
He is making art.
Good.
He actually sent himself to school via the internet. He got a, what was it? Something design degree.
Oh, cool.
Digital design degree.
Right on.
And now he's doing freelance work.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It's amazing. He's actually, he's got a project that he won't tell me about because he cannot tell me about.
Oh, okay.
Until it's done.
Got to keep it hush-hush
right.
until
he's on a gag order. Yeah, because they could sue him.
Yeah.
So getting sued's bad.
Yeah, that's true. Not too much fun.
Yeah. So.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that just reminded me of him. He's actually got some pretty good sculptures that he's posted up on his Facebook page. I'll pull them up and put them on.
That'd be great.
On our,
I really like sculpture, like in general. I like lots of different kinds of art. I tend to like more like abstract, like contemporary art. That's a little weird. Like one of the pieces I bought is like it's kind of gimmicky because the whole like have you seen the paintings on old book pages? They're really hipstery. Well, like they'll take like an old dictionary and cut the pages out and then use it as the background to paint a picture over.
Oh, kind of
like an old map.
Okay, kind of like almost
collage-y.
Like not a cloisonne, not what do they call that stuff? It'll come to me in a second. I know we used to do it in art school.
Nice.
Yeah.
But so it's a little gimmicky in that sense because it's on like an Italian dictionary page, but it's a painting of Darth Vader in a business suit.
Oh, cool.
And then the top just says "War is over," and it's like him with his hands in his pocket in like a business suit, and I just think it's so awesome.
In like a GQ pose.
Kind of, yeah. He looks really hip, and it's like, oh, now that the war's over, Darth Vader clocks in at the office every
Just
day.
pull a 9 to 5.
Totally. I like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's Darth Vader, who's awesome, and just looks really fun. So I like stuff like that that's a little tongue in cheek and like winking at you. You know.
Speaking of Darth Vader, my son's got a T-shirt that says the emotional expressions of Darth Vader, and it's just the same headshot over and over again. And it says happy, sad, angry, mad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah. And it's all over his shirt. There's like 20, probably goes to 24 to 30 different emotions that are expressed there. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I like stuff that's kind of goofy like that, but I also like, I like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to go hit that shop again after we're done and poke around and just buy maybe one little thing to just like add a little, I don't know. Now I just want stuff. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm nesting maybe.
Maybe. Just
I'm bored maybe. I have a little extra cash right now.
As we're
there's
walking,
a lot of things happening.
As we're walking in, we passed a couple guys sitting basically on the like little sidewalk cafe. My wife says hi as she walks by literally a 5-foot just like a metal sign that says hi. Just H and an I. It's like hi.
Hi.
It's as tall as she is. I was like, well, that's what the sign says.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty hilarious. This will lead into what I have to say, but that's what stops me pretty much of buying anything right now because we just moved.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scott just moved, had a birthday this week. Happy birthday!
No, yeah, I'm 43 now.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't feel old
moved. 43 is not that old.
No.
43 was the average age of Hollywood actors like 40 years ago. I mean, now it's like 22. But back in the day, it was the average,
When I was younger, 43 was ancient. When you're like 18, that's like you're at death's door at that age.
Right.
But now it's
really not that old.
Only thing I really notice is that I get a few more grays. A few more. I'm getting more and more follically challenged, and things just don't heal as fast as they used to.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing. But my attitude, my demeanor, I'm not grumpy. I'm not like
That's
I'm not.
good.
Yeah. I act more immature now than I did when I was in my 20s. Yeah.
You want to know how to keep it into old age? Do mushrooms. I'm not even kidding. It has been proven through science. I read this like in a journal article a million years ago, which I thought was hilarious. That because when you age, you tend to have more black and white thinking, which makes you grumpy.
Oh, okay.
And be less tolerant of I just smacked my phone. Less tolerant of ideas that aren't your own, and those are what go into like the grumpy old man syndrome.
Oh, okay.
But they did a study on people who did mushrooms when they were young, and
that's me.
They were more open-minded and more tolerant of gray areas and ambiguity, and more tolerant of people who have ideas that are different than them.
We would.
I've never done mushrooms, but I thought like maybe when I'm like 40, I'll just do them in order to prevent being like a shitty old person.
They are. I want to say, in my experience, are a very good time.
This is what I've heard.
They are amazing.
I've been strongly encouraged to give it a shot.
Depending on
what
you're doing, it is. We used to go to a local pizza place. I don't think they're around anymore. It's they're kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese type pizza place, and we'd order just a plain cheese pizza and then just pile these mushrooms on top because they're gross.
Oh, are they?
They are nasty. They're slimy and they gag down bad, and just to eat them, they're not very. They're not like the mushroom, like the button tops, where they just kind of crumble and they're very kind of succulent.
I love mushrooms.
These ones have some viscosity. They have viscosity to them. It's almost You
got to kind of choke them down. Well, I'm sure that's the psychedelic element is some kind of fermentation or like aging.
It's a poison.
Yeah.
It's a poison on there. Yeah. It's
totally.
I
had a dream once that I was just snacking, like eating something, and then I looked down and realized it was a bag full of shrooms. and like freaked out in my dream because I was like, I don't even know how many I just ate. And then I was like so terrified that I was going to freak out. Yeah. And then I woke up and I was like, that was a really weird dream for me. Like, maybe, I don't know where that came from.
Maybe in the dream world. You went off in a dream world and had a psychedelic trip.
Totally.
Yeah.
I had some grumpy dreams last night too, and I woke up this morning mad at my special friend because he was a jerk in my dream. And I woke up and I was like, I'm so pissed off. And then I was like, about nothing real.
I've gotten
about
that.
Just being grumpy in a dream.
I woke up and she was mad at me, and I was like, "What's going on? Why are you so mad? Because you did something in my dream." I said,
totally.
How can I control what happens in your brain?
It's so irrational, but it feels good because you're like, yeah, screw him, and then you're like, oh no. Plus, my dream was this really weird mix of like him being a jerk. Me not being able to get where I'm going, which is like a common theme in my dreams where either like I'm trying to get on a bus or I'm trying to get somewhere and I just cannot get there, and I'm being really lost and like all of those frustrating things, and I woke up super grumpy.
You're at, like, it's almost like every move was counterproductive.
Yep.
Every time you turn around.
I was like, oh, this bus will take me there, and then the bus took me farther away, and then I got off the bus and I was like, I'm going to get in this taxi. And then I got in a taxi and it was full of like really crazy. It was like, in my mind, it was like a West African taxi, like the people in it were Ghanaian. And so I know where that came from, obviously. And they were taking me all crazy places and I was like screaming at them. And I kept trying to call this guy to tell him. And then I was like, he wouldn't answer his phone, and I was like, what a jerk. Like, I'm supposed to be where he's at, and he's not even trying to get in touch with me. And then I was like getting pissed off at him, and like this cab was taking me all crazy places. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, that wasn't real.
Right.
Oh, that was a grumpy dream. But here's the good sign.
Right.
Not a work dream. Which I've had so many work dreams over the last year, and I realized I haven't had a stressful work dream in like maybe 3 weeks.
All my work dreams involve violence.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really bad sign.
Yeah, it's usually me committing the violence upon coworkers. You know. And
Tell me more about this. I'm gonna take some notes.
It's never bullets.
Don't worry about
never
it.
Knives.
Oh, good.
Just.
Do you have a plan?
Well, no.
Okay.
No,
okay.
and it was never with any malice either. It was just violence.
Yeah. Mine are always like people yelling at me, or like trying to get things done and just not being able to get anything done.
Oh.
Or sometimes I just have a completely mundane work dream where when I wake up I feel like I just got home from work, and then I'm like, now I have to go back to work.
All those hamster wheel dreams.
Totally, yep.
They're just, you never get off that hamster wheel. Oh.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
But you were talking about moving, and then I totally derailed us.
I figured out. Well, not figured out. I've known for a long time. Moving is exhausting.
Moving is the worst.
Absolutely. And it's here's the thing about it. I'm broken. My neck is still messed up.
Oh yeah,
so
totally.
I can't. I want to help, but I cannot help. And I love my wife to death. She's there standing there. I go, you. It's not that you're not capable. You just can't do it because you're broken. And I get it.
Good for you.
And I put the legal aspect on too. If Alan I catches me, I'm in trouble.
Oh, it's big time.
But it's even harder not doing anything. I put stuff in the boxes, all the light stuff, I get it in there. But when it's all packed up, it's hard not to pick stuff up. That's the worst. And then just to watch everybody work, I feel bad. Luckily we really downsized quite a bit in the last 2 years because we were overseas.
Yeah.
And so moving wasn't as hard. We did it all in a day.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we only moved like a mile and a half away. Found a nice little apartment.
Cool.
Yeah. We're downsizing and making ourselves available for the mobile lifestyle that we want when our son gets out of high school.
Yeah, that's a really smart idea.
Yeah, and I also know that I'm tired of doing yard work, and we don't have to do that now. Yard work is done. I don't have to do it. We met our new neighbors, and it's not a huge complex. It's a tri.
Oh, that's cool. Triplex.
Yeah. So it's a very, very. There's not even any more than us. It's just three apartments, and then that's it. Our landlord's pretty cool. He He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He says, the main thing important to me is rent. Don't BS me. I want my money here. Don't be later than this day. As long as you make it between. You can come early if you want. Just don't be late, because I have my bills too, and the banks don't care that you're late.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and he said, as long as we have that understanding, we'll be best of friends.
Right
on. I don't need any more friends, but I don't. I don't want to make any enemies either.
Well, it's good to have a landlord that's a cool person.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And he's just straightforward. Yeah.
Good. Right on.
Yeah. It's
Great.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad the move went well and that it wasn't too painful. I felt bad because you didn't tell me you were moving, and I was like, I could have helped. I'm a rock star at moving because I have freakish man strength. Like my friend Chrissy, she likes to tell people the hilarious story about how I was helping her move. And she turned her back away from me and then turned back around, and I was holding her TV on my shoulder over my head, and I was like, "Where do you want this?" With one arm, and she was like, "What are you doing?"
Flexing.
I know. I was like, I'm super strong, and I like to show off, and I like to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of go overboard.
Yeah.
With helping people move.
That's we had an abundance of people helping us out, and. We did it. We used a Volvo and 2 pickup trucks.
Right on.
And that was it. And we made about 3 or 4 trips, and it was mainly just a bunch of little tiny boxes.
Yeah.
We had 2 beds and a sofa, and that was our big furniture. We don't have dining room set, nothing. So we've been downsized for a long time. So it's been nice. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, my morning was crazy. I woke up this morning. I blew off my boxing class yesterday because it was scheduled for 9 a.m. and I woke up on Saturday and I was so exhausted and could not bring myself to go. And this is the first time I've missed is I think my 10th session. And so I was like, you know what? I've never missed. I'm totally blowing it off. And so today I woke up and I was like, well, I have to go to the gym today because I blew off class yesterday, and so it is my punishment that I have to wake up and go to the gym. So got up, got dressed, went to the gym, which I was bummed also because I didn't get any credit for it because my coach wasn't there.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, I'm going to show up and be like, oh, I totally forgot about class yesterday, hee hee. But he wasn't even there, and I was like, damn it, it's like I'm here for nothing. And then I kind of weanily jumped rope and hit the bag for a while. And then snuck out. Because I wasn't getting any credit, so it felt like a waste. It's I have a pedometer that I wear.
Oh, yeah?
And some days I forget it at home. Oh. And then I'm like, why exercise? I don't even get any credit for it. Because I need some reinforcement.
You need that tangible evidence of doing it, yeah.
Oh, but you better believe I'm emailing him today being like, I was at the gym today and I didn't see you. Yeah. But I wanted to reschedule my class.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, so I went to the gym and then I went home and I was going to shower up and come down here. And I got home and my bathtub was full of sludge.
What? That back up through the sewer?
Uh-huh. And I opened my shower curtain and I was like, oh, it looks like dirt. It doesn't smell bad, but it's oily dirt. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get in that bathtub.
No.
So I took what's commonly known as a hoe bath today.
Just
wet the washcloth. Scott.
Sorry.
Mine, they can take care of themselves.
I know, I can't help it.
I know. Scott's directing traffic of people trying to get in the bathroom.
I should be in that chair. That way I'm not distracted.
Yeah, he's super distracted.
I do. I'm a people pleaser.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I couldn't shower, and then that's what took me to staring out my window, and that's why I've got a hair thing going on.
Oh, you're
I don't smell though.
Yeah.
I was so sweaty that my hair was really gross.
It's all greasy.
It's a little dried. Now it's just dried sweat, but it's still disgusting. Because I cannot take a shower. And so if I had already reported because there was a weird drain thing a couple days ago, but if they haven't come and cleaned it up by tonight, I might just go to my friend's house and shower.
Somewhere,
I don't think so. I think there's just something wrong with my plumbing.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna close the door and pretend that's not in there.
That's always a bad time.
I know. Yeah. I have had a few plumbing issues in this apartment.
You're going to. You're stacked on top of you. You got people on top of people.
Good. Someone's gonna play the piano.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my exciting morning of no shower. But
you could have just filled it up. It'd been a mud bath.
Gross. It seriously is like oily and and like if there was a smell to it, I would think it was poo. But it couldn't be poo, right? Like that's not a thing. It could
most
be
likely
poo.
It's just like there probably is some in there, but it's mainly just scaling from the pipes. You know, like the old pipe system that's up there in Capitol Hill. And then if somebody's doing like work down below you or work above you or something like that, it could have been just.
That's true.
Yeah, or somebody shoved a G.I. Joe doll upstairs down the pipe and it messed everything else up.
Totally.
Yeah.
My when I was in Chicago, one of my friends had all these plumbing problems, and they finally like snaked out her drain, and they found a mascara wand that was like accordioned, like it had been smushed in the pipe, and they were like, "This is the problem," and like pulled it out, and then stopped having.
We actually had a house. We had a house in Auburn that we for years couldn't use the sink because it would always clog up. Mm-hmm. And we actually the plumber came out because I was trying to fix it myself and couldn't. I've used all kinds of agents and whatnot. And they actually came out and had to remove a section of the pipe, and what was in there was an eyeliner pencil.
No way.
Yeah,
weird.
It was in there, and it was wedged in there such a way that nothing could get past it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I got one of those infomercial things that's like a mini snake that you stick down and swirl it and pull hair out.
Yeah.
I really wish that person would stop playing piano.
Yeah, that's loud.
It's just out of tune and really loud. I have a thing with pianos when they're just slightly out of tune. It really bothers me. Like that's probably a major chord, and it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, but it was really fun because I stuck the tool down and swirled it around and pulled out like the most disgusting wad of hair, and I was like, yes! It was so awesome. It felt so good.
It's a little satisfying, yeah.
Yeah, but I lose a lot of hair. I've got like a serious hair thing. Like my hair is just like way too thick, and so it was all red, and I knew it was mine. I was like, yep, I got to take credit for that one.
Yeah, that's all me.
Totally.
Yeah, that's we had the same. Well, you didn't have the issue for the longest time because my wife cut her hair off.
Oh and short hair is so much different.
It would just flush. It would just go down the drain, and then when she started growing it longer, and then we had the issues again. Because my hair is definitely not long enough to clog up a drain. It just goes right straight down.
Totally.
It's not. That is a little distracting.
I know. I'm thinking actually of pausing and moving.
Going upstairs?
Is there an upstairs?
I think so.
Okay, we're going to pause really quick. Resume. Okay, we're back. We moved, so now you can't hear the super loud same two chords over and over again.
Right. Oh, man. Sorry about that, listeners.
Hopefully it won't be as loud as it felt in there.
Actually, the view here is a little bit better, so I'm looking across the street, and I'm not distracted by the toilet.
Oh, good.
That's nice. A double thing.
I know, there's some theaters here. One of them is the Rialto, which as a Dawson's Creek fan, I appreciate, because the movie theater in Dawson's Creek, which plays a very prominent role, is the Rialto. So
we used to come down
here. It felt
here,
a little fangirly.
We used to come down here and when I was kids and watch $2 double features.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love the double feature.
They were B movies, not B movies, but they were
like they've been out for 3 months.
The independent films.
We've
seen The Evil Dead.
Oh, nice.
That was a really good independent horror movie. And then Blue Velvet. I remember coming down here. And then
Blue Velvet is awesome.
And then a couple other artsy fartsy ones that I really could give a crap less because I was 16 and I really I wanted big blockbuster movies.
I know, I didn't really get so much into the indies until the last 10 years. But in my defense, indie movies have gotten significantly better in the last 10 years.
Yes.
Because of the dissolving of the studio system.
And it's cheaper to film now because there's so much technology it's just the good timing in technology and now all that.
So if you're a competent filmmaker and don't have $10 million, you can still make a good movie. Totally. It's true. Speaking of movies, I watched a movie last night. I watched the amazing Burt Wonderstone, I believe is the official name. The Amazing? Yeah, it's The Amazing Burt Wonderstone. With Steve Carell. It's Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, Jim Carrey.
Okay.
There's so many big people in it that my brain is like, urge. Oh, Jay Moore is in it. Who was like really good in it. Like, actually kind of stole a few scenes.
Now, did he do his own, like, did he do an impersonation of somebody?
No, he did, he just was playing the character of, like, kind of, like, they had this, it's a goofy movie about magicians. Okay. And they had, like, this lounge that was, like, a magician bar, which is a ridiculous concept that there's, like, a bar that magicians hang out in Vegas. Oh. But he was, like, the bar rat at the magician's bar who was, like, kind of an angry, bitter magician who was so, like, the idea of that, to me, it translated into stand-up in a way where, like, you watch Louis C.K.'s show, Louis, and he's, like, hanging out at the bar with the other comics, only if that was magicians. Okay. And so he played the one who's, like, it was him and this other guy, and the other guy was like a big cats magician. Okay. And like they had a bit going with him that like he got progressively more and more wounded throughout because his cats kept attacking him. But then Jay Moore was like the angry, bitter, as in, like, hipster comic magician.
With like big cats, like jungle cats.
Yeah, like tigers, and lions and stuff. Cougars and stuff. Yeah, And he was like, I think he was from South America or something, and so he was really funny. But Jay Moore kind of stole those scenes because he was just like so sharp and witty and like bitter, and it was such a funny concept to me.
Have you ever listened to his podcast?
I have. I really like it. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I didn't know until I started listening to it. I didn't know he's like that good of an impressionist.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's amazing.
Well, that's what I used to like him for, was his impressions, like when he was on SNL. Yeah. But then his other stuff I thought was only okay. But recently I've kind of been revisiting him, and I get him a little more, I think. Yeah. And I'm a little bit of a fan. Yeah. So, but the other fun part is that Jim Carrey plays the David Lane style magician, or like the Chris Angel, and he's so funny. Like he's got like an obvious weave, and he's just a total asshole, and like the movie itself is not great, but there's stuff in it that's like oh, that's pretty funny. Like it even gets a little heavy-handed of like magic being this like kind of like, I don't know, like they're a little preachy with the Chris Angel is dangerous to kids kind of theme. Right. Like there's a couple, like maybe 3 scenes where the Jim Carrey does something in front of a kid, and someone's like, what if that kid goes home and repeats what you do? And he's just like, I don't care about kids. Like, and I was like, Penn and Teller, like, shoot each other with guns in there. Like, this is not, like, magic is supposed to be a little bit dangerous, so to me it's got a little heavy-handed. And it was way too much magic. Like, watching magic acts in a movie is not exciting. No. Because you're like, this is a movie, it's staged.
Right. You know that
so there was way too much, like, complete magic acts. There was probably 15 or 20. A lot. Oh, okay. Where I'm like, I don't, this isn't exciting because it's a movie.
They could have slimmed it, they could have taken out like half of them.
Totally. It would have been much better. Right. But, Steve Carell plays like the Siegfried and Roy style magician with Steve Buscemi, and that's really enjoyable because he's like tanned and like has chest hair and this really gross hair, and he's always wearing like sequined velvet jumpsuits and stuff. So that was really fun. So there was some stuff in it that, to me, I rented it on Amazon for like $3. Okay. And I was like, that was $3 worth of movie. Good. Like, definitely not great. Had a few chuckles. Yeah. Alan Arkin is wonderful, and he was in it. And, it was fine. I give it a B-.
Had you been taking mushrooms, you think it would have been better?
Oh, I would have been like, what? Because mushrooms make you throw up, right? This is what I've heard.
No.
My friend said that
me.
she took mushrooms and she just yacked for like an hour.
Well, she might just not like mushrooms.
Maybe.
They do have that. And you have it. We're going back to that. They do tend to make you gag.
Okay.
If they're raw.
So you gotta choke them down a little bit.
Which eating them raw is also dangerous in itself because you can get heartworms.
Ooh, creepy.
That parasite, yeah.
Yeah, our conversation is not making me lean toward mushroom trying.
Make a tea out of them or get them freeze dried. You'll be fine.
Joe Rogan says everyone should do mushrooms and get a sensory deprivation tank. Which I think is funny. I actually really would like to try a sensory deprivation, though.
You would go places. Oh my goodness, you would.
But it's like the most crazy, like your brain just like spins and spins and spins and spins, and it feels like you spend like 6 years in the tank, and then it's only been like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey in the mind.
Yeah. But I would like to do a sensory deprivation tank, just because I think it sounds very like relaxing and peaceful, and that sounds awesome to me. So I think I'd like that.
I'd make noises with that water going in and out of my ears. Lay my head back and forth, listen to water drain in and out.
Think like you're defeating the purpose.
I'd get bored though. But see,
that's the thing. Supposedly you don't. Well, you either are a person who's ooged out by it and you have a panic attack, which I've heard a couple of people freaked out. Like a few people I know were like, "Do not do it. It made me like I had a panic attack and had to get out." But I don't think that would be me because I like stuff like that. And don't get freaked out in enclosed spaces.
About sensory deprivation?
Yes.
As was it a horror movie or just kind of like a sci-fi type movie?
I'm not sure. I totally have a memory of this, but I can't think of what movie it is.
I think it was Altered States.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
I don't. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like it would be that name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where I saw the sensory deprivation tank thing. I can't remember, but either you freak out or you just totally bliss out and it feels like you slept for a week.
Oh, it's like intense meditation.
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of forces you into that, which I think I would enjoy that. I can imagine myself feeling like I slept for a week. Because a couple of times I've gotten home from boxing, and one day I laid down on my bed to kind of let my sweat settle before I showered. Sometimes I shower and I haven't stopped sweating, and then I get out and I'm still sweating, and it's not good. And I kind of just was staring off into space, and then I was like, I should probably get in the shower, and I looked at the clock, and in my mind about 4 minutes had passed, and it was an hour. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just laid there for an hour.
You spaced.
Oh,
you spaced
awesome.
Out. You might even fall asleep just a little bit.
If I did, I didn't realize it. It felt amazing, and the rest of the day I felt like the most awesome I've ever felt.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because you basically go through that little. It's almost like a refractory period.
Totally. Reboot.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a runner's high too. Have you ever had runner's high?
I would if I ran.
Oh, okay. I've had runner's high. It's crazy. I had one time, it was when I was in college and I was so not a runner. Yeah. And I went running and came back and was laying on the floor laughing and my roommate was, you are acting crazy, and I could not stop laughing at nothing.
A lot of endorphins.
And I was buzzing big time, and it was the most amazing thing.
Yeah, that's what when people do run. I hear it's.
I've never had it like that again, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you got tolerance built up.
I know. I think my brain was just I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Release serotonin, and I was like, yay.
I probably would have that if I ran. I ran.
I really like running though.
Really?
I do. Once I work up my fitness level to where it's not painful, which takes a little bit. Yeah. But I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I tried it before, but actually when I lost a lot of weight. I'd enjoy walking on the treadmill, which a lot of people like to, and I would I'd feel myself getting into a gallop, just like.
Yeah.
But I end up getting bored.
Have you only ever run on the treadmill? Because I would never run on a treadmill. No. I only run out in the world. No. Number one, because I feel like I'm gonna fall when I run on treadmills, and number two, because there's nothing to look at. And the reason I like running is you've got headphones in with some nice music. Yeah. People are passing you. You're just looking at stuff, and you're just running along, and it's so blissful to me.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Even when I was a kid, I hated running. I just never did it.
I never did until maybe 5 years ago when I started like trying to get improved fitness, and now it's like my most favorite thing.
I think after this next week is going to be dedicated to my fitness because I'm.
Oh, really?
Because having extra weight on me, it does hurt my back and my neck.
Totally.
So I'm going to try and remedy that, and that's something I can do. I can totally go on a diet and do a little bit of exercise. And I felt good when I was at a leaner weight too.
Yeah.
I was happier for sure. Had lots of gym friends.
Nice.
Lots of gym friends. Because I'm a butterfly.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Do you chat people at the gym? Case in point, today I was at the gym. There were exactly 3 other people at the gym. I said one thing to one of them because he was filling up the bucket. He was like mopping. He worked there.
Yeah.
In the bathroom, and I came in to get a tissue to blow my nose, and I was like, sorry, I need a tissue. And I blew my nose. Those were the only words I spoke. It was wonderful. That's why I like this gym, because nobody hassles me.
No, there was a gym I went to that basically it was like a social club. We'd go there, we'd hang out. Now, I'd make sure I'd get my lifting in too, or my cardio in, because if I didn't, I would feel like a waste of time.
Right.
But then I was trying to save money, and I was being closer to home. I joined another gym, and nobody talked to anybody, and I hated it.
See, we're so different people. I don't like humans.
Yeah.
No, I do like my coach, and whenever we go and do one-on-one, and he talks to me the entire time, and that doesn't bother me. But also, like today when I went and did unstructured workout, I did like 1/8 of what we do in a half hour, and I was only there for like 45 minutes. I like skipped some rope, walked around for a minute, skipped some rope, walked around, did a wall sit, walked around, rode on the bike a little bit, walked around. It was the most lame workout ever. I was like, this is not good.
I did some spinning at one time. Have you ever done spinning?
You told me this before, I think.
Yeah.
Not in an organized way.
That was more difficult than running on a treadmill.
Because weren't you saying you went to a spin class where you went through like a whole workout? I've never done that. I do ride a resistance bike at my boxing
thing. Is pretty cool. I do like it. It did take a minute to get used to the mechanics of it. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah, totally.
But once you get up, it's I don't know what it is about running. I could pedal my ass off, but when it comes to running, I just don't want to do it.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different motions.
Yeah.
Different muscles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there would always be a lake of sweat around my bike.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I sweat like a mofo at my. Well, number one, it's in like the basement of this building with no air conditioning. It is freaking hot. And there's like one sad little box fan in the corner, and I always like stand right in front of it, and I'm just like, like I sweat just walking in the building. But my coach said that it's good for it to be hot. He's like, it conditions you to handle the ring. And I was like, fine. And then you wrap your hands with wraps and then stick them in gloves. And I am the hottest person. I actually think that's why I threw up in my second thing, was overheating instead of overexertion. Yeah. It's really hard. But I'm getting used to it now. It's getting easier.
I was talking to somebody who actually did boxing and how they cut weight. Before they actually
do they sweat them out?
They do. They cut weight, but in order to, because your body has like surface tension. It doesn't sweat until something happens.
Yeah.
There's a prenatal something like a rub, like a lotion that they put on, and it actually makes you sweat at a lower temperature. So your body actually sweats at like. So you're just like. You could be totally cool and not just like break a sweat.
Crazy.
Yeah. And you actually sweat more. It's like, I can't remember what it was.
Weird.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I remember I had a lot of friends in high school that were on the wrestling team.
Yeah.
And they did some crazy stuff to cut weight. And I was like, I don't think this is healthy for you. And they're like, meh, it's fine.
Lick lemons and stuff.
Yeah, and like walk around with spit jars all day.
Yeah.
And like they would do like sweat. They would sweat it out, but they would do it in like put on like every piece of clothing they have and lay in a sleeping bag with like a heater next to them. And I'm like, that does not sound good at all.
And trash bags too. They would put
trash bags
under the
totally.
clothes. Yeah. And then,
you guys are stupid.
I never wrestled either. I'm like, I want to eat. I like eating. And they were not eating, and I was like,
I know. Yeah, they would chew food and spit it out just to feel like they'd eaten, and I was like,
is that bulimia? That's bulimic, or no? That's anorexic.
No, that's anorexia. Yeah. Those two go pretty close hand in hand.
You guys have a disease.
I know. Well, that's the thing too, is my coach talks to me a lot about dropping weight, and I've not had the conversation with him where I'm like, this is really not my primary purpose, is to be here to drop weight. But he says a lot of things like, yeah, if we do this for another 6 months, you'll lose 60 pounds. And like, I don't have the heart to tell him, like, actually I've gained 5 pounds since we started working out.
You might.
It's probably muscle, because we're doing a lot of muscle building.
Right.
But like, to me, I mean, if I walk into a gym, everyone goes, "Oh, you're here to lose weight," and like that's their own assumptions. And I'm like, no, I'm here to stave off diabetes, improve my fitness, and feel good.
Right.
Like, really, if I lose weight or not, that's ancillary to me.
But in his defense, in the long run, if you kept doing
I'm sure I will.
The side effect of, because you barely lean muscle mass.
Yeah.
In which case, you actually, your metabolism elevates, and you're burning more calories. You're going to burn way more calories, and so you're able to even eat better, or even you can maintain your same diet and still lose weight.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, lots of people do lots of work like that and don't lose any weight.
Right.
You know, farm workers who are super overweight that just all they do all day is work out. You know, basically like picking farm stuff. Yeah. But actually, there's a really good book I read called Why We Get Fat. Which is a sort of a social history of obesity as a concept, and how it used to be seen as a function of malnutrition. And it talks about how our ideas about what causes fatness have changed over the years. And it's fascinating. It's like one of the best books I've ever read. And it very strongly advocates a low-carb eating system because of our culture's sugaring everything that we eat.
Everything's over-processed.
And it's really interesting. They talk about like basically pre-1920, when the 1920s era was when the idea of dieting became popular, because the calories in, calories out theory was presented, which really is not perfect. But it's really interesting. You should read it. I highly recommend it.
There's a lot of theories on diet out there too. Yeah.
Well, it's a huge industry, and they profit over people cyclically losing and gaining weight. And I'm a person who's lost maybe 800 pounds in my lifetime. No, I'm totally serious. Like, I've lost and gained more than 80 pounds about 7 times.
Wow.
And like, it's one time I lost about 85 pounds through like eating a calorie restricted diet and daily exercise, and I lost it over about a year, and then maintained the same calorie eating level and increased my exercise for the next 4 years and put it all back on, plus about 20 pounds.
Wow.
Because your body adjusts to your calorie level. It's like, it really, that's when I started running. And this is actually like the end of that 4 or 5 years, where I'm like, at a certain point I was like, I'm gonna just be cool with not restricting my calories anymore. I'm healthy, I eat well, I can just be fat. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna exercise like a motherfucker so that I can delay diabetes as long as possible, and like keep my heart healthy, and the rest of it,
it'll take care of itself.
I can either fight my body or accept it and move on with life, because really, like, it's so much misery.
It seems like when you put it's like a type of energy behind it. You actually go the wrong way.
Oh, well, that's why
it's a shameful thing.
Totally.
Almost,
That's why, like, the more you restrict, you tend to have binges. And restrictive eating tends to be associated with binge and purge, and then it becomes bulimia, and it causes compulsive overeating, and there's all these studies that go into, like, but the diet industry only presents, if you could just only eat 1,200 calories a day for the rest of your life, then you'd be skinny. It's like, well, I have lots of skinny friends who eat 3,000 calorie diet a day, and they are just skinnier people than me. Like, I've become a believer in, this is my body, I'm okay with it. Well, I don't need to make it into your body or someone else's body. We all have different bodies, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's evolution types. We actually, you and I, we come from a part of our evolution comes from a part of a world where you had.
It gives you a survival advantage.
You had winters where your body. That's why we store. Your body actually is meant. You and I, we actually are meant to
survive harsh winters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're supposed to fortify through the summer, spring and summer, and then partially into the fall, and then basically starve all winter.
Yeah.
So that's what we're supposed to do.
And if you look at mortality rates, people with overweight and obese BMIs survive disease at much higher rates than people with underweight BMIs because your body is more resilient. You survive surgery complications. Right. You survive chronic illness better.
There's
a benefit there.
Your body has a reserve. That's what I said.
Totally.
When I see somebody who's really real thin, I say, oh, you can catch a cold and die.
Totally, get the flu and die.
Right,
you know?
You don't have the calories to combat it. That makes me feel better. Actually.
I know, and the book Why We Get Fat also talks about how our assumption that overweight bodies cause things like diabetes. New studies are showing that it might be the case that instead of fat equals diabetes, or fat leads to diabetes, or fat leads to heart disease, it's genetic predisposition to diabetes causes overweight BMI. Okay. And then you get diabetes. So it's like the causality of fat causes disease might not actually be the case.
It's genetics causes the fat, which these diseases.
Yeah, the fat is an indicator for a predisposition to certain kinds of disease, which then makes the solution that different. You know, the solution then isn't, if you lose weight, you innately become more healthy. Right. Which isn't always the case. You know, a lot of people lose a lot of weight and still get diabetes.
Yeah, they're diabetic. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, to me, I just think there's a lot of fat hating out there, and
it's one of the things you can still It's almost like that in old age you can still make fun of. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Old people are the worst.
We're all.
I'm just kidding.
I make fun of them too, but that's a place where we're all headed.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. Totally.
But I actually, one of my really good friends, his grandfather just passed away. And you know what? It's actually okay. It's good because he was actually in a bad place when he was. So it's better now.
We all die.
It's a release on the family, and because they don't have to. He was having dementia, and it was a mess. I'd hate to say it, but they're better off.
Yeah.
Now. It's almost like, oh man.
No, I've been there. Like my grandma died a few years ago, and I was so destroyed about it because she was just like my most favorite person on earth. But she was so sick, and there were so many things that went into it, and we were all expecting it, that when she actually died, I had been just like a wreck before she died. Like, she's gonna die, I'm so destroyed. And then when she actually died, I kind of felt better. Yeah. And I was like, well, at least now she's not in pain, and you know,
I mean, you miss the person.
It's not hanging over you, but you feel a little bit of like, it's okay to let go at that point. You know? Yeah.
I don't. As we all know, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I just believe in the now and not now.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's kind of.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're on that morbid subject, I want to talk about my dentist.
Oh, okay.
We actually enjoy our dentist. Not most people enjoy going to the dentist. We love going to the dentist.
I'm a little weird, and I actually really dig going to the dentist too.
We get 4 visits a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
which is awesome.
What do you do at all 4?
Get our teeth cleaned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then then we get talked into braces and.
Oh, right. Kenita has braces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she needed them.
It's good.
Yeah.
Tooth health is good overall health. That's what they say. It's true.
Dental hygiene means healthy.
Does he do the kind of cleaning with the water instead of the scrapey thing?
They do if it's really bad. Well, we have female hygienists.
Okay.
And our doctor, what's his name? Rowe? He's
Dr. What?
Dr. Rowe.
Rowe? Okay.
R-O-E.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Chinese, I think. And he comes in when there's a problem. That's it. Like if there's a cavity, we're just looking at his tooth, and we can fix it now and get paid now, or we could fix it later, get paid later. So I always think of later, because if I don't have to fix it now, I'm not gonna fix it now.
Right on.
And but the thing is, we go there and we spend more time chatting than we do actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're really
that drives me crazy.
If it wasn't for
get to work so I can leave.
Well, it's actually not in the chair. We actually sit at the front desk.
Cool. That's
sitting,
not so bad.
Yeah, and we're really good friends with the lady who runs the office. Her name's Patty, and she is really cool. She actually just to listen to her do her things around the house, I'm tired because she has chicken. She has bulldogs, like 6
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs,
Oh,
British bulldogs, 6 of them.
cool.
6
Those are
of
the
them.
cutest dogs. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're
I know
bowling-
they're so fat and adorable, and they look like. I actually want to get one and name him Lieutenant Dan because he has they have little stuffy legs. Wouldn't that be adorable and
Lieutenant
kind of
Dan.
irreverent name? Oh, I totally want one. I think they're the cutest dogs ever.
Here's what, if you ever get in a herd of bulldogs and just let them out of the gate.
They
and
eat you?
No, I bet it's, well, they try, but they don't really,
Yeah.
their teeth aren't really present.
If they could kill you, they would, but they can't.
No, they snort you to death.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I would liken it to running with the bulls, but midgets.
Oh,
Bull
they
midgets.
stampede you?
Yeah, they're like, it's like standing in bowling balls.
Crazy.
Yeah, and you get rolled over, and they're like 50 pounds each.
Yeah, they're super strong too.
Yeah. And so she has bulldogs, chickens, turkeys, cats.
Ugh,
And
gross.
she's got the room for it though.
Okay, because she lives out in the country with you guys, right?
No, we're actually
Like
city folk.
country.
Yeah.
Oh, compared to her, you're city?
We're burbs, yeah.
Okay.
She's out there. She's in a development
I
where they
see.
can't break up a lot smaller than 2 acres.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good for her then.
Yeah.
To be out there.
I'm like, you're setting yourself up for retirement because she's busy all day long. I said, that's what you got. You're planning for you'll live longer because you have stuff to do.
You'll go home and
Yeah.
it will be like you
Yeah.
have a job. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Right on.
And every time we see her, it's like, so where's a good place to eat? Because we used to. Not the last few months we haven't been doing it, but we go and find places just out of the way.
Yeah.
And she never mentions it on. Oh, and that's another thing too. I got my first about the podcast thing.
You got your first what?
About the podcast.
I see.
About the podcast. So I got my first, and that was from
Cool,
Patty.
right
yeah.
on.
I was like, oh man, I
That's
finally get
cool.
to say somebody's listening.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah.
I've had a few of those. They're weird.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better at it where like people that I don't expect, like I'll be telling someone a story and they will like have this look in their eye like they already have heard this and I'm like, are you listening to my podcast? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I should just stop now then because I was just going to tell you.
Why didn't you tell me you heard this joke before?
All the bits I did on the podcast.
So they start talking along with you. And this
I know. You're like, yeah, I remember that. Nice.
You left out that part.
Yeah, well, my stories get better the longer
Yeah.
I tell them, so, you know.
You tend to color them in more.
Turn the volume up on the better parts.
You flavor them more.
I'm forming a story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imposing it.
Yeah.
You know, I found out the last time I went to my dentist that I don't floss correctly. Because I floss all the time. I actually really enjoy flossing. It feels good.
Yeah.
And my dentist was like, she's like, are you really flossing? And I was like, yes. I floss maybe 4 times a week. And she was like, because your gums are bleeding. And I was like, well, you're flossing really hard. And she was like, well, like, show me how you do it. And I just do it to, like, clean the stuff out.
Oh,
She's like, you got to jam it up in your gums.
Yeah, you get down in between
And
the
so
teeth.
now I've been using those little half moon shaped because then I just bite on them and it crams them up there and it like I totally bleed every time I do it. But she told me that if I'm not getting a little blood going, at least for a while until they get used to it, I'm not doing it right. And I had no idea.
I learned the blood isn't actually the you're not damaging the gums.
Yeah.
It's the presence of bacteria.
That's what she was saying, totally. And I'm like all dental.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, you gotta cram it up there.
I used a thicker floss. It's almost like yarn.
I like the tape because the tape gives you a good edge. But that's when I was doing my like genteel flossing. Now I need the things because I bite on them.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I forget. I usually forget, and then
I do it while I'm watching TV.
I have a couple crowns in, and they'll actually give me pain once they get to a point where it's like, ooh, I better stop flossing. And then once I floss, I get a little bit of blood. And then it feels better right away, like almost immediately.
Yeah. I have like a basket next to my couch that has a bunch of dental floss and stuff to do nails in it because I'll be sitting and watching TV and I'm just like looking at my finger and toenails and then I start like filing them and clipping them down and then I'm watching TV and I start like picking around in my teeth And so it's like stuff to do with my hands while I'm watching TV. It actually has knitting in it as well. It's like my little Peggy needs to multitask basket.
Yeah, I'm just good. I'm just sitting there. If I vegetate, I vegetate. There's nothing else going on. I'm not a fidgeter.
Oh yeah, I totally am. Like I can't stop myself from like, I don't know, picking at stuff. Like that's why whenever people have like piercings around their mouth and nose area, I'm like, oh, I would be
messing with it.
Poking at it and picking at it and like I just like feel around for like stuff to scratch at and stuff. Like I'm a picker. Yeah. If I have a zit, it will not be left alone for even a second. I'm on it.
Yeah, that and meth addicts have that same thing in common.
I'm definitely not a meth addict, but I sort of have the spirit of a meth addict, I want to say.
You're closeted meth addict.
I'm meth addict-esque.
Yeah.
No, don't do meth, though.
Yeah, no.
Children,
you have the effects
do not do meth. It's really bad news.
No. It's hard on your teeth.
It is. I know quite a few former meth addicts, and every time I'm like, do not do meth. It does nothing for you.
Other than make you not eat. And, speaking of that,
skin and shrivel away.
Great weight loss diet, though.
Oh my gosh, it's so. You can. I noticed though, like, there are a few people who I've seen in the community who. One day suddenly I'm like, oh, they started doing meth because their body movements change. Right. Their skeletal, like the way their fat sits on their body changes.
Their mouth doesn't stay still.
Their mouth does weird stuff.
Yeah, they're just like gnawing on their lip all the time.
And you can see it on them that it's like, oh shit, you just changed to meth. Yeah. It's really scary to me.
You know, one of the really good movies I watched was about meth. It was The Salton Sea. You ever see it?
No, I haven't.
Val Kilmer.
Ooh, I love Val Kilmer.
Yeah, The Salton Sea. Which
How do you spell that? Salton?
Salton.
Or Sultan?
Salton.
S-U-L?
It's S-A-L-T-O-N.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual lake down in...
the Salton
And I don't know exactly where it's at. It's in the desert somewhere, and it's a man-made accident.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Salton Sea was actually a dirt dam, or earthen dam that gave way.
Oh, weird.
And it created this accident. And it was actually, they had this huge salt body in the middle of the desert, and it turned into like almost like a resort, overnight resort.
Weird.
But then because of being in the desert, the water levels started to dry up, and the salt levels went up, and had a mass fish die-offs.
Gross.
Weird. And it's still
and
there.
And they're on meth there? What does meth have to do with this?
This just has this is where the name.
That's the setting of it?
Salton
Okay,
Sea.
I see. But it's really about meth.
Yeah.
Have you seen, what's the one I think that's scary about meth? Spun. With Mickey Rourke, Brittany Murphy. It's really really super is what I meant to say. Super stylized filmmaking, like really almost expressionist.
They try to pull you into the feeling of meth almost.
And it is emotionally upsetting to watch because the cutting is crazy and the images are blasted out and the colors are really wild and like speeds change throughout it, and it makes you anxious to watch. Like it imposes emotionality on you.
Is this Mickey Rourke before or after the
wrestler?
Yeah, all the steroids and plastic surgery.
Before.
Okay, good.
This is like a late '90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
He plays a meth cook. He's really good in it, but he's kind of a side character. But it's about tweakers, and like when I saw it, I was like really emotionally upset, and I had to go, that was a brilliant movie because it made me feel stuff I didn't want to feel.
It pulled you in.
Totally, but it's not enjoyable, I wouldn't say, because it makes you really anxious.
Those feelings you get.
It makes you feel out of control. It's really intense.
Wow.
But I loved it. I mean, I kind of dig stuff like that. Like, even if it's upsetting, I go, wow, that was really fun to, like, get sucked in where it felt real.
Yeah.
I like that. So, to me, that's, like, the whole point of a movie. If I'm sitting there thinking about, like, what's going into the filmmaking process, then it's, like... Like with Burt Wonderstone, I was like, I'd trim this scene back a little bit. Then it's like, I don't believe this movie.
It's running a little long.
That's what I think about every movie. I think every movie is a half hour too long.
Really?
You can always trim it. Get to the point.
Yeah.
Unless it's just like gorgeous and like you want it to go on forever. But those movies are few and far between.
Yeah.
I would say though that like Django Unchained was one that was very
I
long
still have
that
to
I
see
didn't.
that one.
You should totally watch it.
I think it's on Netflix now.
I think it is too.
Yeah. I was gonna watch it the other night, and it
Yeah.
was we were moving, and
Right.
And the boss said I had to go to bed.
Yeah. Nice. No, I recommend it, but it's easily almost 3 hours long, and
Wow.
to me, I was like so okay with the length because it felt like it went by really fast, and at the end, I was a little sad. I was like, oh, it's over. I kind of
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Quentin has that way of making movies that are long feel like they're not long.
Yeah, he's hit and miss if you ask me
Yeah.
with that. But some of them, like Kill Bill,
Yeah.
didn't feel too long to me. And it was originally one movie that he split into two
Two.
very long movies.
Yeah.
So sometimes he does better than others.
Yeah.
I think Inglourious Basterds was an hour and a half too long.
I like
Could
it,
have been
though.
a 90-minute short, or a 45-minute short would have been totally okay with me.
Like
I couldn't. His style of dialogue didn't translate to subtitles well with me. Where I was just like, really? We're gonna read this whole scene, and you're still gonna have them go on these like super long, like his subtitles had to like go through cycles of like 4 bunches of subtitles to get through everything they were saying, and I was just like,
especially like in the farmhouse, yeah.
yeah. Oh, the farmhouse is brilliant though.
Yeah.
That half hour of movie should just be a standalone short. It's
Yeah,
genius.
that's what they said. They could make a play off of that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I would go see it in a second too because it's freaking genius. It's the rest of the movie, like the poker scene. To me, I was just like,
I don't remember that
get
part.
through it. Oh, it was so long.
I don't remember that part at all.
When they were like in the basement bar playing cards, and everybody's like shifty-eyed, and they're just talking about mundane stuff for a really long time. But there's kind of a tension there, but it went on easily 20
That
minutes
was in the
too
French
long.
bar, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that part.
Anyway.
Now I do remember.
I could go on for a year about how annoyed I was with that movie. But that's fine. Whatever. He tried new things. Good for him. Yeah. But
he made a Kill Hitler movie.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
good. Yeah.
Well, we're about out of time. Ooh, wow. We actually went long.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I just looked at it a minute ago, and it was like, anyway. I started talking about movies. That's what happened, and then I went on and on and on.
Okay, I'm gonna bash a little bit. Not really bash. We were waiting on Skype and they never showed up. That's okay. Well, that's how rock stars are.
It's true.
They flake out. So
next time we'll get them soon.
I'll see if we can't schedule in their recording studio.
Yeah,
then that way
totally.
they can't escape.
It's true. Where we come to them.
One more thing on the last podcast, really quick. We promised to cut.
I totally forgot.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
so
that.
maybe
Okay.
we can get it on this one.
Yes.
Darius's
song, and then when I was putting it together, I had been at Bumper Shoot all day and didn't even realize until I was listening to it like 3 days later, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I heard the fart noise. I was like, where's the song?
Peggy forgot. I will definitely put Darius Alexander's Can't Stop.
Can't Stop.
I will put it on this week's pod. So you'll have an extra long, exciting podcast today. So
awesome.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes, please.
Yeah.
And subscribe, tell a friend.
Yeah, share.
Oh, and check out our new logo, which will be on today's podcast.
That's right.
We'll make it the podcast picture for this week. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's brand new.
Your brother's brilliant.
Isn't he great?
And he's so modest.
I know. He's like, whoa, it's pretty good. He even told me that he's working on making like a lens flare effect for it. He's like, he told me he was done with it, and he's like, well, I'm trying a few things that I think would be cool. Like, you were not done.
He's a perfectionist, isn't he?
He'll work on it for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So, but that's our new logo. We hope you like it. And, thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Huzzah!
Know me right? Now they think they know me well. Oh, they think they know me right? Now they the thesis. I ain't here to say, better take it to Jesus. Won't change for $1 if I'm broken to pieces. They think they know me, right? Oh, they think they know me well. Let them step up to the man and watch me give them hell. Ain't no coins in a wishing well, but I wish them well. Why they wish I'd fail? Never that it ain't in my blood. I am what I am, not what I was. They say they want it with me, but I don't think they do. I'm making moves, they too slow. I guess they try.
I shed some blood, I shed tears, I put in work, I'm still here. I shed blood, I shed tears, I put in work, I'm still here. So I can't stop now. No, I won't stop now. So I can't stop now. No, I won't stop now.
Oh, they think they know me, right? Nah, they think they know me well. Oh, they think they know me, right? Nah, they think they know me well. Oh, they think they know me, right? Nah, they think they know me well. Oh, they think they know me, right? Nah, they think they know me well.
I got scars, I'm too far, too close to the stars. So I can't stop now. No, I won't stop now.
What's the point? I think they missing it. I'm on my grind, you will find no quitting him. Goals I'm putting dents in them. Present is the tense I'm in. I'm looking past my past. It's respect when they mention him. Move how God positions him. They watching and they listening. I don't think it beat the same if I told them how my watch is glistening. Or the type of whip I'm in. Ain't nobody feeling in. I'ma walk